Okay, thank you. This is the State Building Code Council Work Group on Economic Impact for Monday, September 15th, 2025. I don't think we have a quorum here. I see the two members are me and Dan Young.
That's correct.
And
Okay.
Ben and Katie both declined. They had other things they had to go to.
Okay. Well, that's okay because we don't have to take action today to my knowledge, right?
That's correct. We can't, officially approve the agenda or the minutes, but for the agenda item number 4, the public listening sessions review, it's more of a unpacking of what was heard at those sessions. As far as the meeting goes, I was supposed to get comments submitted by Friday up. Came down with some illness over the weekend, and I was not able to review that stuff and get it uploaded for the meeting here today. I do have them available, and I've had a chance to do some review on them this morning. But we didn't get a ton, but there's a couple that came in.
Okay. And so I think the main task here, if I understand it correctly, this will be our last work group meeting unless we need additional time to assist staff to get the especially the small business impact report done for the CR 102 filing, and also the preliminary cost benefit. So that's the most important thing in front of us, and also to prepare the council for the September, is it 26th, right? It's not the 25th, 26th.
Yes.
Meeting. Okay. So I think that as we bring in a couple more members here and bring in more stakeholders from the public, we're going to review the listening session, and then also I think I can update on the IBC, the IBC tag session. And to me, the main task here is one, are we advising the council on any new information that we've received that would change your recommendation to the council for moving something into CR 102 filing? Or is there anything that was flagged that we heard to make sure that as it gets filed for CR 102, that is brought to the attention of the council for important to flag for public input? Does that sound right? Okay.
I agree.
So this may not be a long meeting. I think I have my list of items that I heard, and I think I'll just start. There are some that I knew were going to be flagged. In general,
can I hold you up for one moment? We
of course.
appear to have quorum now.
We do roll and
okay, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Todd Byreuther.
Here.
Jill Anderson.
Here.
Angela Hopt.
Here.
And Dan Young.
Here.
Thank you. And as I said earlier, Ben O'Mara and Katie Sheehan both had prior engagements, so they will not be here, but we do have a quorum, including you, Todd.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, with that, then we'll go through the agenda. So any other, anyone else like to be recognized from the public? We'll go through this in order. Go ahead, Patrick.
Thank you. This is Patrick Hanks with the Building Industry Association of Washington.
Thank you. Go ahead, Greg.
Greg Johnson with Avista.
Okay, welcome. Okay, see no other hands. Item 2, to review and approve the agenda. Can we hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Chell and then Dan. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Agenda is approved. We have review and approve minutes. Do we have the minutes for the second?
Yes, sir.
I see them.
There they are.
As we're reviewing, can we have a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Dan, then Chell. Any edits? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 And
Aye.
any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved. Okay, then I had jumped right in and just started offering some commentary, but we can take a quick step back here. Is there anything to summarize, Dustin, that I didn't already cover?
I don't think there's anything to add to what you were covering earlier. I just reiterate, we do have some written comment that came in, not a ton, and I was not able to get that up for this meeting here today.
Okay. Any other specific requests that you or the rest of the team have that you need either today or from the council on the 26th?
I mean, the hope is that on the 26th that we can have all our draft work done and hopefully the council can make a motion to file those CR 102 documents. Other than that, I think if as a result of the listening sessions or once I can get the written documents sent out to everybody, if there's additional input, I guess we might need to call another work group meeting potentially, or if there's anything that might change in our draft documents, we would need to know prior to that council meeting so that appropriate steps can be taken so that the code revisor can have the appropriate documents back to us in time to
Okay.
file.
Okay. So just as a reminder, everyone, so we had the listening sessions last week where we had the energy codes on Wednesday. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
And then the rest of the codes on Thursday. We got some input. I took my own personal list, and I think others did too. So, the task here is to, once staff starts to, prepare the draft documents, obviously we will monitor that and make sure that then those things are raised to the council before those move into CR 102. So, we got a message from Ben. He didn't flag anything that was unexpected from the UPC and the IMC. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then same on the IBC. I was going to give a quick update. So the IBC tag met about a week or so ago, and we did take time to review the list made by this work group. And then they had some great input. I think we even brought a couple of them back that we had flagged and really talked through with subject matter experts and felt a little more comfortable about their status. So I think that was informative. And the ones that still remain flagged, we did hear a couple comments like the embodied carbon and that's the main one that comes to mind. So that's just my quick little informal IBC update. Any other tag chairs like to speak specifically to their codes and anything they heard or received in written testimony?
I guess just to talk about the types of comments we did receive, we received the one comment on the building code for the embodied carbon work in opposition of that one. Then we got two comments on the commercial energy code for kitchen electrification requirements, saying that the cost to tenants and small businesses who might be occupying tenant spaces is pretty significant and prohibitive, and the concern being that the infrastructure upgrades may never be actualized by the tenant who's required to install those. We received another one on the commercial energy code on changes to CMU blocks requirements for the installation. And I believe that the small business that responded to that one said that the changes there are going to remove or they're going to discourage people from using CMU blocks to achieve the energy efficiency requirements for that code. And then the final one, let's see, on the energy code, I got some stuff from Greg Johnson. I really appreciate what you sent, Greg. It's a review of proposals that are proposing cost impacts and impacts to small business, and he's got his takes on those statements within the proposals, and so it's good information that I plan to get out. And then we got a general comment just saying that the code needs to adopt less cost restrictive implements to help prevent skyrocketing rent rates across Washington. And that one was just a general, didn't apply to any specific code or proposal.
Okay. Well, with that, we do have public comment marked here. So again, the intention today is not to regurgitate a lot of what we, had available for testimony on the previous days. But if there's any public comment related to anything you heard specifically that you want to make sure was unexpected, perhaps make sure that we flag it in the make sure we get them in the drafts, or anything you particularly feel we heard new information that needs to be flagged for the council for potential consideration or mitigation before we move into CR 102 public process. So I'll open it up. Okay. Go ahead, Chell.
Yeah, I remember hearing, I think Hoyt Jeter said for the residential energy code that more people are using their residences as small business offices due to remote work. And so the energy code is critical to saving them money as they occupy their homes more and more as small business owners.
Okay. And Chell, I'm looking back at my notes. Was that tied to any particular petition? Or Hoyt, you're on? I don't remember. I have your name down on that note, but I didn't flag it as one of the petitions.
I don't think it was petition specific.
Okay.
But
Maybe that's why I don't have a note. Okay, go ahead, Patrick.
In terms of a recap, I didn't hear you mention. I know I mentioned specifically some proposals for the residential energy code
Yep.
that we had concerns about, and then I kind of had to, with the limited time, I had to prioritize focusing on the single family residential side of things. But later on in the week and then over the weekend, I was reviewing the commercial energy code. Kind of, it's been a little bit since I went through and looked at, and I was kind of surprised at the amount of significant proposals that will affect mid to high rise multifamily and also like sections in the code. The TSPR 210 198, the incorporating requirements for the clean building performance standard will affect large multifamily. There's some electrification requirements in there, and I think the 20% vertical fenestration is going to present a design problem, not necessarily that it may be cost effective when you do the analysis to go up to triple glazing, but only requiring it for 20%, I think could produce some unintended effects. But so those are just a few things that I wanted to flag.
Okay.
Sort of.
Well, that's helpful. I mean, I do appreciate, you gave that list on the residential side, and that was helpful for me just to go and revisit each one of those. And then we can also do that when we get the drafts ready to make sure that, they're flagged and we feel strongly about, the way bring in some of the petition language in, and if we need to make any adjustments. So go ahead, Patrick, I interrupted you.
And I went back this morning and I tried looking at the 2021 cycle to get a feel for what the SBCC had done in the past for the preliminary cost benefit analysis. And I actually, it's no longer available. The links don't work for the original preliminary cost benefit analysis for the 2021 cycle. I'm sure if I did a public records request or whatever, I could get it. But so I looked at the EPCA one instead, and It did have some numbers from P&L on the commercial side, but I was kind of disappointed that it lacked some of the detail that's in the residential side, which helps to understand kind of how they get to their conclusions. I think this is and I kind of mentioned this last week, this is a really important step, and especially with the goal of providing, cost-effective energy efficiency, doing that quantitative analysis is really important to ensure that the work that's been done is going to do what we think it will. And I think the commercial side is something that's been understudied compared to the single family residential. They only looked at mid-rise apartment buildings, but and I had some questions about it. They made it kind of confusing presenting it. It made it seem they said it had savings, but when I was looking at it, things weren't quite adding up. So I just want to, I'm really hoping. I'm not really sure what you're going to be able to do in 2 weeks, but I think it's really important to get quantitative analysis, even if it's just a preliminary review, because that's what the public comments, people from the public are going to have to review to provide their public comment on. And for the council to consider before the final adoption. So thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay. Anything else? This is really just touching base, making sure we're steering everything in the right direction for the next 2 weeks. Leading into the council meeting and into the filing date on October 1st. Okay. Dustin, do you have anything else?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay.
I'm just trying to track. I want to track down that broken link that shouldn't be broken, and I found it where it's at, Patrick. So I'll make sure to get that back online.
Oh, from 2021?
Yeah,
Oh, I was going to blame it on the old website.
I wanted to, but I didn't think of it.
I wasn't trying to add more work for you. I was just saying.
I understand. I don't like that the link's broken. I don't know why it is. So it shouldn't take too long to track it down, though.
Okay, thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else, item 5 is other business. Anything else to discuss? We will make it short and sweet then. Thank you everyone for checking in. We are adjourned.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.